Good afternoon. Today is Sunday, June 3rd, 2018. I'm your host, Joseph, and you're watching the CryptoSonar Show. Let's get right to it, folks, and we're going to start off as we usually do on coinmarketcap.com. And as you can see up here, our market capitalization as of this morning, we are at $351 billion. That's up from $346 yesterday. And if you can take a look at pretty much everything is in the green within the top 100 coins. So we've had a good overnight, and we're going to take a look at that in a little bit here, and we'll see what happened overnight with some of the cryptos that are out there, and we'll give you a market update for the day. So let's start off with Bitcoin, and what you'll see is that when you're looking at Bitcoin, you say, okay, from May 28th, right about 9 o'clock at night, that would be Pacific time, to right about right now, Bitcoin is up 8.67%, so that's over 5 days. But it had a nice run up in the overnights as well. And so we're going to take a quick look, not a whole lot, but in the, pretty much right about 1% or so. So that's pretty good. That's not bad. So overall, like I said, about 0.84 cents, 8.84 of 1% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum is up 4.54%. Ripple's up 3.24%, Bitcoin Cash up 8.32%, a nice bump there for them. EOS is basically down a little bit based on their mainnet basically going up, and hopefully that will work out well for folks down the road as well. And so let's see here. A bunch of these opened up here. Let me go back into the charts here. So taking a quick look at EOS. What you'll see has happened with them is they went ahead and had a nice little run up. Even from this morning, they've climbed back into it. If you look at the 1 hour charts from basically all the way over the last day or so, about 18%, but like I said, it has pulled back just a little bit, which isn't anything to really be concerned about as far as that goes. But Bitcoin had a nice bump. Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, LTC. I also want to talk about Lisk. Lisk had an issue yesterday, and what happened was there was an erroneous transaction that showed up on their blockchain. And so to counter the bug, Lisk acutely goes down as developers release a fix. So what they're saying is that all the funds on the blockchain are safe. It wasn't business as usual this morning for the Lisk team, as they had to quickly respond to an edge case bug. Now, they've had this issue before that allowed for the broadcasting of invalid transaction on the blockchain. And one of the things that they wanted to make sure that people knew about was the project president also went on to say that it wasn't immediately clear if the episode resulted from an experiment or an attack, he added at the time. I personally don't believe the outcome was on purpose, rather an accident due to an individual playing around. So talking about decentralized, a lot of folks were online yesterday saying, well, if they stopped the blockchain and they did it, doesn't that make it centralized? Well, in fact, this was an automatic failsafe that they had built into their code in the blockchain that did it all automatically. And then the developers on the side apparently probably went through a consensus and released an update to roll things back to where it was before that transaction came through. So the fix, the Lisk Core version 0.9.15 update has already been deployed. So it looks like they're going to be okay going forward. So that's something that we'll take a look at. But what's really happened over the last week or so is the crypto markets have gained about $25 billion over the last week. Ethereum is now above $600. So Sunday, June 3rd, over the past 7 days, the total capitalization of crypto markets has increased by as much as $25 billion, with all the top 10 cryptocurrencies listed on CoinMarketCap currently in the green. In addition to that, EOS, or EOS, however you want to say that, has added $2 billion to the market cap. So remember, we went up from 246 up to about 351 point now, 351 billion right now. So that is a good $6 billion in market cap increase just since yesterday alone. So that's pretty good news all the way around. This is something that I like. It's coin360.io, and what it does is it gives you a snapshot. If you're over on coinmarketcap.com, you can do the change over 24 hours and look at the top coins. You can look at the worst performers. You can look at the market cap. You can look at the graphs, etc., etc. But what this basically does is it lets you know what's the sentiment of the overall market at this particular point in time. And what it will say is it will pull up and say Bitcoin's at 77.16, Ethereum is at 618.21, and then you come over here and you take a look at things and say, yeah, absolutely, it is over there as well. So that's something that looks like my trading view bounced down for a second. If I can get it back up here, give me a second. There we go. And we're going to go over to back over into BTC pairs. And then we'll click on Bitcoin, Beauty Interactive, close that chart. And you can see Bitcoin right now is currently at 76.86, bouncing around a little bit. Ethereum at 615.74. They had a nice run again from the 29th up to today, about 18.95% increase in Ethereum. So that's good for the folks out there that are mining Ethereum, and that's something that can be very fruitful for those that are doing it. So that's good news all the way around. Again, EOS putting $2 billion into it. And I wanted to do something. I wanted to go into something that really has to do with what's the future of all this, what's going to happen. Well, back in 1994, so 2004-14, so 24 years ago, on the Today Show, they asked what the internet was. And I just want to play this short clip for you.
Violence at NBC, GE calm. I mean,
well, Allison should know.
What is internet anyway?
Internet is that
Massive computer network.
the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. Wait, how does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
No, she can't say anything in 10 seconds or less.
Oh, Allison will be in the studio shortly.
So this is 1994.
Computer network made up of started from.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what this was.
It's like a
look in the
computer
dictionary.
billboard.
It's not an. It's a computer billboard, but it's
Right.
nationwide. It's several universities and everything all joined.
Anyway, you get the drift on that. So in 1994, they were talking about what is the internet, and that might represent the opportunity that cryptocurrencies offer today. And there's something that I found, and I thought it was interesting because this is something that Thomas Schultz, he's on Twitter, and what he posted back on the 25th of May, he said right now there's only 13.3 million plus Coinbase accounts. And these are estimates. I really have no way to prove if this is 100% accurate or not. 7.9 million plus Binance accounts. Binance, again, is an exchange. We'll put a link in the bottom. Same with Coinbase. 1 million plus KuCoin accounts. Again, another exchange. 10 million plus BTC wallets with greater than 0.001 Bitcoin in it. So if you take 0.001 and multiply that by, what do we say, 7642 or 7686 of Bitcoin, that's basically, a great amount of money out there with 10 million wallets with a ton of Bitcoin in it. You are an early adopter. This is the beginning. Don't sell yourself short out of this market. Just wait until there's 100 million accounts all trying to FOMO in. Now, FOMO, I'll basically look up this shirt. This says HODL. HODL stands for Hold On for Dear Life. Again, we'll cover that down the road and how that all came about along with the $10 million pizza order on Bitcoin. And so just wait until 100 million plus accounts all trying to FOMO in. So what does that have to do with us? Well, if we take a look at the United States and we say, well, this is the latest one. This is just straight from Google. About 125.9 million adult women in the United States in 2014. The number of adult men was 119 million. So let's say you have 119 plus 125. So you have 244 million adults in this country. 244 million adults, and yet call it about 20 million Coinbase and Binance accounts in KuCoin, 21, 22 million accounts. So this is going to do nothing but grow. It's going to go further. It's going to go up, in my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. You could lose it all tomorrow. But I think that it's something that is really good for the markets. It's good for the world. And certainly it's going to be good for those that are early adopters. And I think everybody that is in this space right now is an early adopter. Again, the same analogy. This is the infant stage, and it's only going to go up from there. So again, Ethereum, $616 currently trading at right now. A little bit of a pullback, but nothing to necessarily to worry about. Don't worry about all these over here. This is just a signals alert thing that I use on here. Again, this is TradingView that I use, and I have the Pro account. Costs a couple bucks a month, but not anything terribly expensive. We talked yesterday about Visa, and to finish up this video, we talked yesterday about Visa, and they're processing, how many thousands of transactions, etc. per second. And what they're saying is Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin made some pretty awesome promises recently. Ethereum will eventually achieve 1 million transactions per second. Think about that for a second. 1 million transactions per second. With second layer solutions such as sharding and plasma, the Ethereum network will eventually be able to process 1 million transactions per second and potentially more than 100 million transactions per second. And with Visa going down on Friday in the UK and Europe, and I think we said 90 to 95% of all transactions are completed on the Visa network within the UK. This could be huge down the road. Now, what sharding is with Ethereum is that if there's a limitation on the number of transactions that can happen every second right now in Ethereum, sharding basically is going to break up their blockchain, and there are things called dApps, called decentralized apps, that run on the backbone of Ethereum. And what sharding does is it's going to split up the blocks into smaller chunks, and then by consensus, all of the proof of work proof of stake instead of proof of work algorithms will basically confirm each individual portion of the block, and then that sharding will then confirm that block, so it will allow a lot more transactions to occur on the blockchain. So that's something, and we'll talk about mining down the road, but with Ethereum, it's currently at proof of work, which means that there's GPU and ASICs and FGPs, or I forget the exact definition, of these computers that are basically confirming transactions on the blockchain, and eventually they're going to go to proof of stake, which is going to be those that own the tokens or those that own Ether will be able to help confirm transactions, and then they get a small chunk of Ethereum as a reward for confirming those transactions. So what that means is the costs are going to go down on this as more people get into the space. And again, if you're taking a look at this one, this is powerful, folks. 13.3 million Coinbase accounts, 7.9 million Binance accounts, and we look at the number of adults in the United States only. This isn't even talking about the rest of the world. This is the beginning. You are a trendsetter if you are even learning about this space. And hopefully next weekend we'll be able to put up an educational video. I work during the week, so sometimes these updates are going to be quick, but less than 10 minutes or so. So that's what we have. So again, things are looking good. Things are looking in the green for the most part. And I think that we're going to have hopefully a good rest of the day today. And I certainly thank you for joining the channel. If you have comments on things you'd like to see or stories you'd like us to report on, place a comment down below. Please hit that subscribe button over on the right hand side. Hit the bell notification. Please like this video if you thought it was useful to you. And please share it as well across your social media platforms so we can help gain traction on the channel. My name is Joseph. This is the CryptoSonar channel. CryptoSonar channel. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.